Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to talk about the topic forces that build the land. So, to know about the forces that form or change the land, we first need to know the types of boundaries between two tectonic plates. They are as follows. Convergent boundaries. Convergent boundaries are the boundaries between two tectonic plates which move towards each other. Example, the Himalayas. Divergent boundaries. Divergent boundaries are the boundaries between two tectonic plates which move away from each other. Example, Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Transform boundaries. Transform boundaries are the boundaries between two tectonic plates which move past each other. Example, San Andreas Fault in California. The kinds of faults. These are the main kinds of faults. The convergent boundaries cause reverse faults, the divergent boundaries cause normal faults, and the transform boundaries cause strike-slip faults. All these types of faults give shape to the land. These landforms can be formed only on the boundaries between tectonic plates. But is there another force which forms the land other than continental drift? Yes, even volcanoes form different landforms. The different types of landforms caused by the different types of volcanoes based on their appearance are shield volcanoes. These volcanoes are more flat and shorter than most other types of volcanoes. They are formed when the molten rock cools in layers. Example, Mount Loa in Hawaii. This is the anatomy of a shield volcano. The magma chamber, which is inside the crust, The magma chamber is inside the crust. The lava comes out to the surface through the vent. And this cooled magma forms solid lava layers which are formed through gentle lava eruptions. Cinder cone volcanoes. Cinder cone volcanoes are usually very tall and not so wide compared to other types of volcanoes. They are formed when lava shoots high into the air and cools near the peak, making it tall and narrow. Example, Mount Capulin in New Mexico. Composite cone volcanoes. Composite cone volcanoes are usually not so tall and not so wide. They are formed when thick lava flows in alternate directions with layers of ash, cinders, and rocks. Example, Mount Stromboli in Italy. The types of volcanoes are as follows. Active volcanoes. They are volcanoes which have erupted recently and will likely erupt in the future. Example, Barren Island. This is the magma chamber of an active volcano. It is filled and the lava may erupt at any time. Dormant volcanoes. These types of volcanoes have not erupted recently but have the ability to erupt in the future. Example, Mount Kilimanjaro in the Himalayas. As you can see, the dormant volcano has a partially filled magma chamber which indicates that it may or may not erupt in the future. Extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes have not erupted for a long time and will mostly not erupt in the future. Example, Dhinodar Hills in Gujarat. This is the magma chamber of an extinct volcano. It is inactive and does not have any lava, which indicates that it will not erupt in the future. Volcanoes also form other types of landforms. Example, island arc and dome mountains. Island arcs are formed when one ocean plate goes under another and causes islands. Dome mountains. Dome mountains are formed when magma rises and pushes the land above it, causing these kind of mountains. Volcanoes also form laccolith and dike. Laccolith is when magma hardens across horizontal layers. If the hardened magma is pushed upward, it forms a laccolith. Dike. Dike is when magma hardens in vertical cracks across horizontal layers. As you can see in this diagram, this is a dike which flows through vertical cracks across these horizontal layers. When this dike flows through other cracks across these horizontal layers, it is called a sill. When these sills cool, they may expand, thus causing the land above it to rise, thus forming these kind of hilly structures near volcanoes. And a dike, if this is a dike is when this magma pushes the land above it, causing these kind of small volcanoes. So now that you know about volcanoes, let us know about earthquakes. An earthquake is a sudden movement of tectonic plates. These usually occur when the energy is stored in the crust and is released quickly. Earthquakes occur on the boundaries of two or more tectonic plates. Parts of an earthquake. The earthquake the main parts of an earthquake are the focus, the epicenter, and the seismic wave. The focus is where the earthquake starts and is the strongest. Epicenter is the part directly above the focus on the surface. The earthquake is strongest on the epicenter, which is always on the surface. The seismic wave is the wave which is caused by the earthquake. Let us know about the seismic waves and seismograph. The two main types of seismic waves are the surface wave and the body wave. The surface waves are the waves near the surface. They are usually more dangerous and destructive. They are slower than body waves. Body waves travel through the interior of the earth. They are further divided into P, primary waves, and S, secondary waves. P waves. P waves are the fastest seismic wave. They travel through solids, liquids, and gases, pushing and pulling through the materials. P waves cause the substance to move forward and backward in the direction of the P wave. S wave. S waves are slower than P waves and travel only through solids and cause the substance to either shake up and down or side to side. Seismograph. A seismograph is a machine used to detect the location of the earthquake. It detects vibrations that is noted using the seismograph. This is the diagram of a seismograph which is used to detect the location of the earthquake. So now we know how to find the location of the earthquake. But how do we know the intensity of the earthquake? Let's find out in the next slide. The two scales used to measure the intensity of the earthquake are Richter scale and Mercalli scale. The Richter scale uses magnitude which helps to detect the intensity of the earthquake. Earthquakes with the number 2 are 10 times more deadlier than number 1, 3 10 times more than 2, and so on. The Mercalli scale is based on the opinion of the people. The earthquakes with numbers 0 to 2 are not felt by the people. 2 to 3, they are felt a little bit by people. 3 to 4, the ceiling lights swirl. 4 to 5, the walls crack. 5 to 6, the furniture moves. 6 to 7, some buildings collapse. 7 and 8, most of the buildings get destroyed. 8 and above, there is total destruction of buildings, bridges, and roads. Thank you.